There are also at least two major parties involved in the communication cycle. A. The sender of the message and B. The recipient of the message. A. The sender of the message. The first phase of the communication cycle starts with a sender who conceives a message to communicate. Then he encodes the message into a suitable form. This form could be written, oral, visual, or a combination of these. Lastly, the sender selects the appropriate channel/method by which the message will be sent to the reader/recipient. The message is then sent. B. The recipient of the message. The second phase of the communication cycle starts with the recipient decoding the message that he has received. By decoding, we mean absorbing the message. For example, if the message was encoded in written form, then the recipient decodes the message by reading it. If the message was encoded in oral form, then the recipient decodes the message by listening to it. Again, if the message was encoded in visual form, then the recipient decodes the message by seeing it. Then she interprets the message or makes out some sense of the message. Lastly, the recipient gives feedback to the sender regarding the message. Elements of communication. How does communication take place? The communication process begins when a message is conceived by a sender. It is then encoded, translated into a signal or series of signals, and transmitted via a particular medium or channel to a receiver, who decodes it and interprets the message, returning a signal to indicate that the message has or has not been understood. Shannon and Weaver developed a communication model in 1949 that has been used to describe the process of communication in all areas. The model proposes that all communication must include several elements as follows. Elements of communication. Whenever you communicate with someone else, you and the other person follow the steps of the communication process shown below. The person who is the source of the communication encodes it into a message, then transmits it through a channel. The receiver decodes the message and, in one way or another, gives feedback that shows understanding or a lack of understanding to the source. All these happen within a given context. By understanding the steps in the process, you can 1. Become more aware of your role in it, recognize what you need to do to communicate effectively. 2. Anticipate problems before they happen, and 3. Improve your overall ability to communicate effectively. 4. To be an effective communicator and to get your point across without misunderstanding and confusion, your goal should be to lessen the frequency of communication barriers at each stage of this process with clear, concise, accurate, well-planned communications. Stages of the communication process. 1. Source: planning your message. All human communication has a source. This can be, for instance, a person or group of persons with a given purpose, a reason for engaging in communication. Your purpose for wanting to communicate could include the following. You want to show that you are a friendly person. Pass information. Get people to do something. Persuade people to share your point of view. As the source of the message, you need to be clear about why you are communicating and what you want to communicate. You also need to be confident that the information you are communicating is useful and accurate. It is important to plan your communication, as this enables you to understand your objective. Why are you communicating? Understand your audience. With whom are you communicating? What do they need to know? Plan what you want to say and how you will send the message. Seek feedback on how well your message was received. When you do this, you will be able to craft a message that will be received positively by your audience. Good communicators use the keep it simple and specific principle. They know that less is often more and that good communication should be efficient as well as effective.